You're listening to the Player Issue Podcast. Here's your host, Aaron Warwick.
Good evening, fellow collectors, and welcome to the third instalment of the Player Issue Podcast. I'm all alone tonight. I've been left all on my lonesome by my co-host Josh, who has decided that moving house is more important than talking about jumpers. And if you are like me, you'll completely disagree. But anyway, just like the Brisbane Lions, always letting you down for the last 15 years, I've become accustomed to the same thing with Josh. Just taking the piss out of you, mate. We hope to have you back again next week for our next episode. And in the meantime, we are talking to Anthony Lynch for this episode's interview. And we get some great insight into him and his jumper collection. And he's had a few drinks. And I think you'll tell as we get deep into the show. But it didn't stop from the entertainment. So thank you, Anthony, for joining us again. We hope you enjoyed the game this afternoon as we are recording this opening on the Saturday evening. I know I did. And thank you very much again. I hope you had a great time. And we can't wait to have you back in the studio so we can talk some more. So please, ladies and gentlemen, join me for our interview tonight as we talk to Anthony Lynch. Lynchy, how are you, mate?
Good, Aaron. Yourself?
Oh, mate, I'm fantastic. I'm bloody excited. I'll be honest, I'm really excited to talk to you. I've known you through Facebook pages and things like that for a while now. I've never met you in person, and to be honest, it's a bit of an honour to meet you finally.
Oh, geez, mate. Thanks for that. No, likewise, mate. You're probably the iconic collector in Australia, and it's a privilege to be around at your Freo Shrine, and yeah, let's get on with it, mate. Have a chat,
shrine, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's not the greatest studio in the world, but it is what it is, and we make good use of it. So anyway, Lynchy, I'll call you Lynchy. We'll go
Yeah,
with
mate,
that.
absolutely.
First things first, for those who don't know you, who do you support?
Port Adelaide Power. Not Port Power, Port Adelaide
Nice.
Power.
Very enthusiastic about your Port Adelaide
Yes,
power there.
absolutely, mate.
Why is that? Just to educate us.
Oh, back home, in the early days, basically what happened with our club was we were always the Port Adelaide Football Club, and people just basically used to call us Port Power. That wasn't correct.
Okay.
Our logo actually said that, so I think it was one or 2 years into our existence, we basically changed the logo to basically get it right. So
Yeah, right. Okay.
we're actually the Port Adelaide Football Club. So
Yeah. I'll be honest,
Yeah.
I probably called you Port Power more often than not as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah,
Good
yeah. The
educating me
Crows
as well.
blokes do a lot as well. No,
Yeah.
no, it gets on our goat a bit, but
I'll
no,
remember that then.
we're still the Port Adelaide Football
Port
Club,
Adelaide
mate.
Football
Yes,
Club, beautiful.
absolutely.
I'll be nice tomorrow then when
Yeah.
I say go Port Adelaide Football Club. Good job. Not too hastily though, let's be honest. Lynchy's just joined us. He's just come over from Adelaide actually. He's just very fresh off the plane. Had a few beers in him already, so he's going to be great entertainment for the show. But yeah, so you're here for tomorrow's game with Port Adelaide and Fremantle. It'll be your first game at Optus, is that right?
It is, mate. Yeah, yeah. So really looking forward to it. I planned to get over last year, Aaron, but a few things happened and I couldn't get over here. So really looking forward to it.
Bit of a pity that it's a day game because it's not. It's it's a great stadium and all, but probably doesn't have the real excitement and enthusiasm that it gets at night time. I think all the people come out from Fremantle anyway. They come out and they get really excited with the colourful lights and the pretty lights and the noise that goes on. But still a real nice stadium to be at. So I think hopefully you'll enjoy it, but hopefully not too much. Let's be honest.
They still do the lights and that during the
You
day.
get the light show when
just don't get the effect of the lights.
No, so
stuff.
it's a real pretty looking stadium to look at night. I don't know if you've seen it tonight. On the outside, it looks really nice.
No, I'll get out on my mate's balcony a bit later.
Yeah.
He lives right across the road, so we
They've
can
got it
actually
lit up
see
like
from there.
Optus.
So
They've got Optus colours on it tonight,
Yeah.
which I thought
Okay.
was actually Eagles colours when I saw it. And I was
okay, can't have that.
yeah, no, I wasn't too happy about it, but
No,
no, I realised
no.
it was Optus colours, so I'll forgive them for that. But no, you do get the lights flicker on and off when the goals are scored and things like that. So depending on what the weather's like tomorrow as well, you might see a little bit more, but it might get a little bit dark towards the end of the game too. So you could get lucky at the end of the game.
Yeah, my old mate Monty, who you know well, he's texted me today saying basically it's probably going to be a few showers there during the afternoon.
Okay.
Hopefully they hold off. So, well, after the West Coast game, I'm actually hope it actually belts down. I won't say the P word, but yeah, because
Pisses down. I'll say it for you.
Okay, mate. No worries, buddy. Thank you very much. Continue on.
Hopefully you're covered anyway tomorrow. 'Cause 80% of it is covered, so you should be all right.
Well, I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm checked into the Port Adelaide Cheer Squad bay.
Okay, yep.
But you can't drink there, and I've
Oh.
got some good mates back from SA. I like to get around with here.
Yeah.
I really appreciate. I actually speak to my old mate Monty again. He invited me to sit right behind the goals and get on the cameras and all that, and he actually loves that sort of part of the game. The big Chiquito.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
He does.
goes well, Monty.
He does very well, mate. But I just had to politely decline. Because I just like having beers at the football, mate. I have to do that, buddy. So so I'll just sit in the terraces and just up behind that, and watch that. So.
I can't blame you. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I don't think I could sit down and cheer squad myself either, because it's a little bit too rule.
Well, especially what's happening at the moment, mate. You don't know. You might get in real trouble. You might get evicted. And we can't have that. So
no. Yeah, I think you might go
interesting
right on
topic,
this, but it's interesting stuff to read about. Actually,
it is. Yeah.
Actually, there's one of your mates. I've forgotten his name now. Actually contacted me. He's part of the AFA.
Justin Leckie.
That's it.
Justin Leckie. Yeah.
So Justin's contacted me about the AFA. So
great man.
Definitely bring that up. Talk to you about that as well, because he's your South African.
He is
South Australian representative, isn't he? So
absolutely.
Yeah, it's really good. I just really didn't even know anything about that, to be honest, until he talked to me about it. So I'll we'll have a chat about that in the future as well. So when I think Port Adelaide, I think jumper collections. While we get into this, I call it jumpers. What do you call them mostly?
Probably depends on what sort of audience I'm trying to cater to, whether I'm trying to buy or sell. Guernseys generally. I'll call them Guernseys.
Yeah. So in general conversation, you would just say Guernseys mostly.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, cool.
But probably when I'm putting something, if I'm selling something on eBay, I'll call them a jumper. Yeah. Because I think that's what a lot of people probably search. So it's all about getting the mighty dollar to upgrade your collection at times, buddy, as you well know. So
you're not wrong. I think, well, actually, we'll probably get a lot of tips out of you today for some of our listeners as well, because selling, buying a lot, I get asked a lot of times, or constantly, like, how do you find stuff? How do you sell? How do you buy? And it's just pretty hard to continuously answer the same question. I mean, I like answering them, but hopefully this is the sort of avenue we have that people can listen, that can get some tips off us and start learning some more, and not stealing the jumpers that I want, but get some more collectors out there. Give the market really going. Hopefully not flooding it, but
no.
Anyway, so like I say, when I think Port Adelaide, I think of yourself as probably up there as the number one collector in my mind. I actually have no idea quantity-wise how many you actually have, but from the quality that I see from your collection is second to none. So I'll start out with it. How many do you actually have in your collection?
Look, it changes. I'll be honest, it changes from day to day, not week to week, day to day. I'm big on upgrading my collection, so if I think I can get a better player in a particular design, I'm quite happy to sell.
Yeah,
I've just sold 7 Guernseys in the last 2 days.
Yeah,
I'm quite happy to do that. I'm definitely not about quantity. I'm more so about just basically making sure. I'll probably, to be honest, I've probably hovered around between 40 and 65 for about 3 years. But obviously, it gradually builds over time, because you have your club auctions and your sales and whatnot, and so you keep some of that in, so it's continually going to grow. But I'm definitely not about quantity. I'm about quality.
Yeah, cool.
In my collection.
Have you always been like that?
No, probably not. It's it's interesting we talk about this, because Guernsey collecting, to be fair, and it's pretty new here. I mean, probably in the States and stuff like that. It's collecting NBA, Major League Baseball, gridiron, NFL, stuff that players have worn. It's probably been there for years.
Yeah, it's massive.
But in Australia, we're always 15, 20 years behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
So I've only really got sort of heavy in it probably the last 4 years, I'd say.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you say you've been heavy in it the last 4 years. When did it actually start, and how did you get started in it?
Well, back when Port Adelaide first come to competition in '97, and I'll pinpoint it to this moment. I was a member, and I got a letter from the club saying you can purchase the player-worn Guernseys for $150
Okay.
back in '97.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So I sent it back. I said I'd like one. It was a bit of a lottery, and you got a club COA with it and all that bizzo.
Yeah.
I actually got Paul Evans, number 40, back in home Guernsey back in 1997. And then the next year I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Didn't think nothing of it. That just went in the cupboard
as
such in the drawer.
Yeah.
And then the next year I got a long sleeve away player by the name of Nathan Steinburner, number 36.
Yeah.
36? I think he was. But anyway, they've moved on since to I say, to upgrade the styles of players.
Yeah.
At the time, to be honest, I used them at my footy trainings.
Yeah.
I was playing footy at the time, and I'd wear them out there, and they were just something that the COAs were long gone because didn't even really think about that back in that day. Maybe this is something we should hold on and keep.
Yeah.
But I was worn a footy training and that sort of stuff, and probably. I mean, like I said, I've started collecting a bit more heavily probably in the last 4 years, but probably 1 to 2 years before that, I had a sprinkling of more Guernseys than that. I actually just grabbed them one day. I thought, these are bloody cool.
Yeah.
These are really cool. And maybe there's something in this.
Yeah.
I mean, I just really like the fact that a players wore that. It's the ultimate for me. It's the ultimate, the players wore it. And, I know lots of collectors, doesn't matter whether you're a coat collector or you name it, or a stamp collector, or doesn't matter. This player has wore that.
Yeah.
So it's, to me, especially when they're a legend of your club or a legend of the league or just a favourite of yours, like you with your Monday collection. I mean, it's just fantastic. I mean, it just means so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the feeling that I get when I get a new jumper, I don't think it can be beaten by any drug.
No, you're right. It's definitely an addiction, mate. My wife, and she'll listen to this, so how you going, Kirby? She's very, very, very supportive.
That's good to hear. Yeah.
I've got to say that because sometimes she does get the shits, I will say that.
No, she doesn't.
No,
she's very supportive.
She's very supportive of my passion.
Yeah.
And it is my passion. I do spend too much time on my phone, like trying to hunt down the loose one, because I'll be honest, at Port Adelaide, it's a dog-eat-dog world, mate. There's people out there just waiting to pounce, mate. And if you're not right on there in that 30-second period, you'll miss out. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I know from my collecting experiences, I spoke about it before, but I got pretty crazy at points where I'd be on my phone every 3-4 minutes throughout the day.
I'm still there, mate. Still there. Still there.
I noticed. I actually picked up myself today. I was like, oh shit, I've been on the phone like constantly every 5 minutes today. I'm like, damn, I'm back in it again.
Yeah.
But it certainly becomes that point where you're just like, what am I missing out on? You've got to pick your phone up again.
No, you do.
Have a
It's
look.
an addiction. It's a strange addiction.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You just can't miss out on the next big thing because you never know what's out there. I mean, you mentioned the '97 jumpers.
Yeah.
And I think back to Freo, and I don't even know what happened to the original jumpers. I don't think they were sold off at all. I think they were just given away. I know the away jumpers were kept in storage until recently, maybe 2013-ish, 2014, when they actually sold them off on auction, and then went for bugger all.
Well, I'll ask you a question, mate.
Yeah,
like, do you, apart from Monday, do you hit up any other players and see them around the place and just ask the question if you do see them around the place, especially the early lads? Do you ever ask them?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
But if they know I'm a collector, it's a little bit easier.
They'll generally.
Yeah. Like I know some of the players will, this is Aaron, he's a collector, he's a good dude.
Yeah,
he's not out there to resell your stuff.
Yeah.
And occasionally they'll hit me up and say, I've got this, are you interested?
Yeah.
Sometimes I just give it to you, which is incredible.
Yeah.
But I still say, I want to give you some money for it because it's your property. But when you do get that option from players or even just family members of players, or ex-coaches or anything, you jump at that and it's a great feeling to have. Yeah. Yeah, I love it.
I actually feel that if you're actually a forthright with them and you offer them a few dollars for their services and really, really appreciate it, they'll just put that in the memory bank. And
absolutely.
Remember, good mate of mine, Dave Beanie, he had to go and pick up some Guernseys from the great Warren Treadway, and
nice.
You know, he's struck up a little bit of a rate. Yeah, no, he's a good
Dave
mate.
Beanie,
Dave, absolutely. No, he's a good man. And no, but at the end of the day, he struck up a bit of a relationship with him through that. And
sweet.
You know, a couple of Warren's just been knocking around the house at times and just found bits and pieces and come back to him. You know, like because of it, because he knows he's, there's nothing beats this face to face sort of connection.
Yeah.
You know, like myself and yourself right now.
Yeah.
You know, you talk on Facebook all the time and through messages, but you have to meet them.
Yeah.
And get the feel for them straight up, and then the relationship spawns from that.
Yeah, without doubt.
Yeah.
Totally different feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I've really only try and talk to players face to face if I'm going to talk to them at all.
Yes, yeah.
And I think that's how I became mates with Dave Mundy. Actually, is just chat to him like a normal bloke, not just I want your stuff, give me your stuff.
Nah.
Like I'll buy your shit off you. It's you've got to build a relationship and rapport.
Absolutely.
With people, and if they figure out that you are a good bloke, then you reap the reward sometimes. But it's really just about being a good human being, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, I'm not sure I can do that. But we'll have a go, boy.
So you mentioned that obviously you buy jumpers from eBay and things like that when you get the opportunity. Where else do you find your jumpers?
At times, mate, it's really random. It's hearsay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of Guernseys out that have been bought at auctions over the years and that sort of stuff, and people just see that maybe they can make a quick buck off them.
Yeah.
And I think if you have a good name and a good rep, and you pay well and you're just good to deal with, that'll put you in good stead for people to contact you and I have mates from the Crows. Like I've made really good connections, so I'll name drop again. Andrew Bennett, g'day Andrew. He's a good man. But blokes like that. Jeremy McMahon, he's another one.
Mm-hmm.
You just see things out there, and you're always looking out for each other.
Yeah.
It's the AFL can be a bit of a dog eat dog sort of industry, but I feel the genuine people in this game actually genuinely care for each other.
Yeah.
And look out for each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I think from what I can tell anyway, because I'm actually on a few of the groups that you speak of, Port Adelaide, one of the groups that I would go to and feel very comfortable joining, even being an outsider. Because I don't very often, or at all really, see anyone really giving anybody any shit on the pages or on the, I think it's your group actually, the Port Adelaide. It's
Pete McDonald actually made that group. I'm an admin of it. But, it was actually just, if you don't mind me just chiming in here, buddy. Basically, we were at, I think it was a post-season sale back in 2016, and we were talking about it, and he come up with this bit of a brainwave that there was such a demand that maybe we should make a page up, or he should make a page up about, and it's not necessarily about collecting, it's just whatever. There is literally no rules.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Facebook pages, to be honest, there's too many rules. It frustrates people.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, if you just treat everyone well and with respect, that's all you need to do. It's not that hard.
No.
Just treat them well. You don't need a whole page full of rules to have a good Facebook page.
Yeah.
That's my take anyway.
And the people on it, I think if you just take the life lesson of just don't be a dick, as I brought up in the first episode. well, Aaron, I've forged so many like really good friendships and relationships just through some of them pages, especially Trade Adelaide, like lifelong. It's fantastic, mate, and they're not fake. Yeah.
They're not fake relationships. They're genuine.
Yep.
And no, it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I know Fremantle don't have anything like that.
Yeah, well, maybe you've got to start one up, buddy. Come on.
Honestly, I just don't think that's the market.
Pull your finger out your bum, mate. Come
jumpers.
on. We'll get on Port Adelaide, mate.
I think I'm the only Fremantle market, the only collector out there, really. There's a few of us, but...
Well, there's a positive to that, mate. You get everything, mate.
That's right, yeah.
Doesn't happen to Port Adelaide like that.
No. We'll definitely cover that. Yeah, we'll come to that shortly. Well, before we get there, what's your latest pickup? I know you said you sold 7 in the last 2 days. What are you trying to get your hands on, or what have you got your hands on, mate?
So, yeah, that's an interesting one. Actually, I don't have a problem with selling stuff to upgrade stuff as such. I feel a lot of people, and each to their own, don't get me wrong. Yeah. And it's fascinating that everyone sees collecting in a different light. I'm massively about upgrading my current collection.
Yep.
I'm not so much about numbers of pure Guernseys.
Yeah.
So I sold 7 Guernseys in the last 2 days to basically fund. No, they were Guernseys I felt like I could do without.
Yep.
To upgrade 3 particular Guernseys. I had all these Guernseys.
Yeah.
But I just upgraded it into a player more desirable to me.
Yeah, okay.
So they are a 2013, the very last game at Amy Stadium back home. Prison Bar Dom Cassisi.
Nice.
I got that. So he's obviously an ex-captain of Port Adelaide. I'm hell-bent on getting I've got heaps of Travis Boak is my favourite player.
Yes, I think I've noticed that.
With probably not Monday style, but yeah.
Okay, how many do you have, Travis Boak, actually?
Well, I've just sold 2.
Oh, okay.
To upgrade some stuff. So yeah, I have. But they're not COA'd and all that sort of stuff. And that's another thing we'll talk about.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards making everything massively legit, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Because we comes up quite often in the pages, as you know, Aaron.
Certainly does.
And jeez. A 2009 Planets Hill, they had a competition back through the really poor, bad era of Port Adelaide that they lost their way a lot, and
Would these be the tarp days?
Massive tarp days, mate. Massive tarp days.
Yeah.
Pretty poor, mate. But we fought back from them days. So
absolutely.
But 2009 Planets Hill Guernsey that we've modelled our current Guernsey on, Travis Boat 10.
Yep.
So obviously I'm a boat.
Wow.
I haven't got a boat 10, so I had a Dean Brogan who was
Yep.
obviously a premiership ruckman, but
Yep.
I've got other Brogans, so I've upgraded that.
Yep.
A 2013 Indigenous Kane Corns. I've got rid of that one because he's actually given me the shits, to be honest. So an Ollie Wines in his rookie year. So
yeah, nice.
So I've got some good stuff coming in. But
Yep.
I don't have a problem relinquishing stuff if I think I'm going to upgrade the stuff.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just want to look. I'll go through my collection at times. I've actually just bought a new locker, like a big steel locker, and we can talk about storage, about your Guernseys and that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Because we don't want them going bad, or we don't, want the moths eating. I don't know what moths eat, but we don't want them stuffing your Guernseys up.
Absolutely not.
But I've just bought a big steel locker and custom fitted out to hold all my Guernseys and all that. Hopefully the temperature holds out and
sweet.
that sort of stuff. So
are you going to vacuum seal them or just?
I've got them all in like a dry cleaning plastic bags.
Oh yeah.
So just in that. So speaking to Andrew Bennett's actually been in touch with, so us Port and Crows boys actually do get along.
Okay.
Especially in this field.
Yeah.
And he actually went and seen about it. I think it was like a course to like store such items.
Oh, nice.
So that's pretty interesting. So he'd be a bloke you'd want to talk to.
Yeah, that'd be a very interesting conversation.
Very much.
I haven't really thought about how others store their jumpers. Really.
Yeah.
Mine is just on hangers, and I haven't had any issues with it.
Well, they're expensive items, and like some of the stuff you have is really rare.
Yeah.
And
you're never going to get it back again if it's destroyed. So.
Yeah, you're not, and you can put a dollar value on it. You can insure it all you like.
Mm-hmm.
People talk about insurance. Do you insure your stuff? It's like, well, I haven't got an insurance on my collection purely because it's under my house and contents insurance. Yeah, if it goes up in smoke, mate, you're not going to get them Guernseys back.
No.
You'd like a sum of money back to maybe start your collection again, but it's unique.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this Guernsey collecting good thing, mate.
You're absolutely right.
It's unique.
Yeah. So you brought up the Indigenous jumpers and the sales, the end of season sales, etc. But I noticed the other week where the Indigenous jumpers from I think it was a China game.
Yep.
They made their way into the store, and some of the prices on them, other clubs might look at those and go, "Damn, that's astronomical." And some of the comments on the page, they were like, "Yeah, these are pretty high." But then you got blokes like yourself who are like willing to pay that. Mm. How do you feel about some of these jumpers when they get chucked up, and some of the prices on them that some may be a lot higher than others, or what's your feeling on that type of thing?
Well, at the end of the day, mate, they sell.
Can't argue with that.
There's no recommended retail price on these sort of items, mate. You don't go to Rebel Sport and buy this stuff.
That's right.
At the end of the day, I'll tell you straight. I was there very early because I wanted a particular player.
Okay, so I need to know how early you were there.
Well, I'm not going to tell you that because no, I can't tell you that, buddy, because that might
You
give
don't
away
want
trade
everyone to get there
secrets,
next
mate.
time. Yeah,
Exactly,
fair
mate.
enough.
Exactly right, mate.
So just get there early.
Yeah, if you want your stuff, get there early.
Mm-hmm. He was early. I know that for a fact.
Very, very early. We actually seen it actually worked out really well. Just off topic, a touch. Dane Swan was having a sportsman's night up top of the club there,
Yeah,
so
right.
no, we had a good laugh there. He's an absolute animal, that bloke. Oh, it was fantastic, mate.
Shows you just how early you were there. Anyway.
Just back on topic again. What about the Indigenous Guernseys? About what was the question
So
again?
the pricing, just in general, but also, what do you feel about the fact that they chuck them in the store now?
Yeah, that's. I actually agree with it.
Yep.
I don't think in our 150th year next year they'll do that. They'll auction them.
Yeah.
They'll get top dollar.
Yeah.
For them, and that's what the club's got to do.
Yeah.
Talking to staff and the manager that runs the shop, I know we do it different to what the Crows do it.
Mm-hmm.
They auction off all their Guernseys, if I'm led to believe. Sorry, Andrew, if I'm wrong, but I'm led to believe they auction them all off, whether they're match-worn player issue. They give you a COA with it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the issue there at times is there's non-payment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that creates another issue again.
Yeah.
I know the way Port's gone about it, they just see money to made straight up. They want it done and dusted on the day.
Yeah.
Bang, 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 bang. You know, you just get it done, get the money, because you're paying for it right there and then.
Yeah, and they cut out the overheads. They don't have to pay for the COAs, which I know can actually be quite expensive from SE.
Yes, absolutely.
And then they don't have that wait time as well.
Yep.
Just you can get in, you can get your jumper, you can be excited and happy, and out you go.
Oh, look, and it really looks after the people, the genuine people. I mean, I live 400 k's out of Adelaide, Aaron. So I drive there, straight to the club.
It's genuine passion.
Wait X amount of hours and grab my Guernsey and I'm out of there.
Yep.
If you really genuinely want the Guernsey, you'll do whatever you have to do. I'll be honest with you, mate. I'll take for the right Guernsey. Like next year, I'd take a week off work.
Yeah, right.
I genuinely would take a week off work to go down there and prepare myself to get the right Guernsey. But I don't think they'll go down that path next year.
Yeah.
They'll auction them, and they'd be silly not to, I think.
That's incredible passion, but I'd actually believe that.
You've just got to. I mean, and I've had, during this week, I've seen comments like, why is Robbie Gray, like, why is he the top player, or why is Travis Boat the top player? Well, they just are. They're the most expensive player, just because they are. Mm-hmm. They're the best player in your club.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's not rocket science, man. It's not rocket science.
It's really not.
Absolutely not. I just don't get it. The difference is, like, people are just more passionate than others, I find.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm really, really passionate, and there's a handful of other people that are.
Yeah. And
they'll absolutely break their neck to actually get the player they want to get.
Yep.
And that's that.
And you guys are pretty all well and truly know each other.
Yeah.
You're all pretty friendly.
So you sort of look... Yeah, sorry, mate.
No, yeah, right. Yeah, go on. I think you were about to say exactly what I was about to ask, so...
Well, you ask it.
All right. So you all seem to look after each other.
You do.
Yeah.
You do, mate. And that's basically what I was going to say. So, obviously, there's going to be a couple of little sticking points if people are after the same particular player. Yeah. But all that happens there is that you just got to get there earlier than the other person.
Yeah.
You know, simple as that.
You ever seen any fights or arguments over anyone?
No. We oh, geez, we've generally had too many drinks to fight. we have a good time down there, mate. We get pizzas, we get donuts, we have beers. Yeah. We just wait. Oh, it's a massive. It's a
morning.
It's a day. It's a day, night, morning, day out. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does to me.
It's fantastic.
So we're not just talking about just general week sales where they will put out these Indigenous jumpers either. We're talking at the end of the year, Port Adelaide will actually chuck up a crap load. I want to say shitload. I'm just going to say shitload. A shitload of their jumpers, either being player issue, match worn, whatever. They chuck them on their racks, and it's a free for all, really, isn't it?
Yeah, but likewise, like these store sales, basically, it's just a line.
Yeah.
And it's there's a lot of etiquette there, to be honest.
Okay.
People understand that people get there early and they get the first dibs, and that's been a work in progress for the club, that one, Aaron, to be honest. At the very first year they did that, I think was 2016, and it was an absolute shit fest.
Yeah.
It was just, didn't matter whether you were there at 4 o'clock in the morning, everyone just raced in, and there's this shit flying everywhere, mate.
Yeah.
It was out of control.
I can imagine blokes who are there real early like yourself would be kind of disappointing that
Oh, yeah.
that you're not getting really the opportunity that you kind of deserve.
Yeah, well, but at the end of the day, the beauty, I know for a fact, at our club is like the staff that take care of the merchandise and the footy department and all that. They actually do listen to us fans, and they want the feedback to make it run better.
Yeah.
So what they did last year, basically, they just went in waves of 20, and you had 5 minutes.
Oh, nice.
And I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
So if you're in the top 20, you just went in. And then top 20 were in there. They were out the front for hours and hours anyway. So they just worked out what they wanted, went in a really orderly fashion,
Got what they want to move on.
got their stuff.
Yeah.
And you couldn't just hang around there. You had to get out.
Yeah, okay.
And if you wanted to come back in, you actually had to
Line
go
up
back
again.
to the end of the line
Yeah.
to come back in. So, nah. And I do find that's a really good part of our club, to be honest, Aaron, that they actually do listen to some of us fans, and they want feedback to feel, to see how it's going to work better.
Yeah, that's awesome. It sounds like they just evolved from the first one, and that's the best way to be.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned that they listen to the fans, and they put in ideas that you guys have put out there. So do they talk to you fairly regularly, or do you just send emails or feedback here and there just to, this is what we think that you guys should do, or any sort of feedback that you give them?
Personally, I send certain people emails.
Yeah.
My cousin works there, but I don't deal through him. He works in another department. But no, I send emails to the right people. So basically, just it's up to them what they want to do. But it's something that can be improved, and I think it can be improved for the club.
Yep.
And for the the buyer's experience. Let's just have a look at it and make it happen.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, it obviously works. So I think you guys have done a really good job of it, and I know I've stolen your idea off you and given it to the Freo guys, and they've run with it as well. And I think they'll evolve from that as well. So thank you for that.
No worries, mate. Anytime, bud.
You mentioned that you do in and out some of your jumpers fairly often. However, there has got to be at least one that there's no way in hell you'd ever part with.
I've probably got more than one that I would never part with, and they'll go to my boy Jake. I've got one of Dom Cassisi's match-worn premiership Guernseys.
Nice.
And I've contacted him. He's a good WA boy, mate. So
yes, he is indeed.
Yeah, he wore that one in the first half.
Yep.
He told me. So he's obviously got the beer-drenched one from the second half.
Do you know that for a fact? Have you asked him?
Yeah, I have.
Awesome.
I've contacted him. He's told me that. So
that's really cool.
So he did change at half time and whatnot. It's probably a little bit different. Back then they gave, that's 2004, a long time ago, we probably drew a flag. But I don't think it's going to happen this year. But anyway, I've got another ripper, 2003 Gavin Wanganeen Prison Bar Heritage.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's probably a very collectible one. That's
wicked.
She's a beauty.
Now, there's a massive roaring debate and discussion more so about the prison bar jumpers. What's your stance on how, I guess it's more from Eddie Maguire, really, and Collingwood's stance that it's such a big deal. Whereas if you guys could, you just go out there and wear it once a year and everyone would be happy. What's your stance on it?
Oh, look, I'd be happy if we just wore it once a year.
Yeah. And
I think that's going to be the case. I'm pretty sure we're going to be wearing it in home showdowns. I might get shot down from our faithful for this. I just think, I'll be honest, I think there's different eras in your club's history.
Yeah. And
there's different moments and you move on.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it's probably a little bit of an insult. I think that was a massive era. That the prison bar got us to where we are today.
Yeah.
I actually think retire it as such and just wear it in a real spasmodic sort of method, like next year in 150 year.
Yeah.
Don't wear it every week.
Yeah.
We don't need to do that.
Yeah.
We've moved on.
Yeah.
We've moved on, mate. We've added teal. I'm as Port Adelaide as you would. I've had 3 generations of my family play for Port Adelaide, mate. I'm massive as they come. At the end of the day, mate, you just move on. I mean, like with Fremantle, you had green at the start. You don't have green anymore. I mean, it's just things evolve, and they just move on. It's just all part of your history.
Yeah.
Now we're silver, teal, black and white. Now just move on with that, and in 50 years' time, the new power brokers at Port Adelaide might say, let's change it again.
Yeah.
We won't be around to see that, but this is, at the end of the day, mate, we're just caretakers of what's going to happen in the future.
That's right. Yeah. It's just one big business after all, really.
Massively, mate. Massively, yeah.
That's a really good take.
Yeah.
It's quite intriguing to hear because I didn't really have any sort of stance on it at all. I think it's just a really cool jumper. But
and to be honest, Aaron, you probably wouldn't, but I find at Port Adelaide, the masses just want us to wear black and white prison bar.
Yeah, I do notice that.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's an iconic piece of our past.
Yeah,
and I want to celebrate it,
mm-hmm.
but every week, forever,
still when the time's right. Yeah.
So I actually think, as a brand, it got us into a bit of trouble through them TARP days, what you touched on earlier.
Mm-hmm. Apologies.
No, mate. No, we fought out of that, and you've sort of got to look at them days and think, geez, we've come so far. And
yeah, every club has their dark times, and that's how you fight through it, really.
Yeah, but I think strong clubs actually just have a strong brand, and they don't change. I mean, kids
right.
might not today. They might want to have all these freaky colours and different designs and all this sort of stuff. But I think a strong brand and strong colours. Like we talk about Eddie Maguire, mate, massive fan of his.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's his club. Just like you're a massive Freo man, I'm a massive Port Adelaide man.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we protect our brand.
Yeah.
And he's not just the president of the club. He's a fan, and he just wants to protect. He cares for that more than probably his family. He doesn't, but I'd say equally.
Yeah.
That's all he's trying to do. And when he says, when old Gil goes, you've got to come up with a clash Guernsey. Goes, oh, we won't. All right, we'll go from black and white to black.
Mm-hmm.
He takes absolute piss out of them.
Yeah.
But they don't pull Collingwood into line.
Mm-hmm.
So who's calling the shots down there?
Yeah.
Who's calling the shots?
Yeah.
I appreciate. I've got a lot of time for the man.
Yeah. He's got a stance on his club and he sticks with it.
Nothing wrong with that, mate.
That's right.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, you're right. Yeah. No, that's awesome to hear. Actually, I love your beliefs. I mean, I love your passion and the club, and it's great to hear. I've only got a couple more things before we really start winding down, but it's something that's probably going to keep us here for a little bit. Obviously, at the sales, you've got your player issue and your match worn. Now, there's not a specific section where you can just walk up and say these are 100% match worn because they don't have COAs.
Yep.
However, when you go in there and you grab them and pull them off the rack, you know for a fact because you look at them and you can tell. You can just tell. When you look at it when you're trying to sell or buy, how do you look at trying to purchase or sell and get the right value that you think it's worth when you're looking at trying to say, oh, this is a player issue or it's a match worn? It's very hard to word because I'm trying not to. Yeah. I'm very passionate about the subject, but a lot of people have their own thoughts and beliefs on it. Now, if you're trying to sell something, in your heart it's match worn because it's the way it looks, the way it's worn, the feel is totally different. How do you feel when someone says to you, this isn't worth whatever? It's not worth $50 is what I get quite often because it doesn't have a COA.
Yes, it's a very ticky touchwood subject, that one, Aaron. Yeah, and this is just the old chestnut, mate, that'll come up on AFL buy swap sell pages across the land on a daily basis, and we all see it differently. Mm-hmm. I just sell it as I'll give you an example. I got a Robbie Gray, clearly match worn Guernsey from our sale last year. No CLA.
Yeah.
But I actually photo matched it.
Oh yeah, nice.
Like straight there, up on the back of the GPS patch on a wide area. There was a grass stain that thick you just couldn't get it out. They didn't get it out.
Yep.
I'll photo match it. I've even been queried on that.
Yeah.
When I've showed people.
Yeah. Anyone
can put a grass stain on.
Yeah.
Now it's I find that a little bit of an insult on your integrity at times.
100%.
And you personally, mate, this isn't a sort of vouch sort of thing we're doing here, but I find you're a real genuine collector and buyer and seller. I must admit, I get a bit offended when I see people lashing out at people like yourself because there's absolutely no need for it.
Mm-hmm. As far as I'm concerned with it, I actually had one this week. I put up a Lockie Neal, which I got from the sale as well, which you could clearly tell was match worn as well.
I did see that one. Yeah, I did see that.
The stitching on the back was a dead giveaway.
Yep.
The fact that I got it from the sale, I know where it came from. It was a dead giveaway because it's pulled to shreds.
Yep.
Just the feel of the material is worn. Hard to say that, but it's worn material. It's just rougher on the edges, I guess. But I could tell it is match worn 100%. And so I put it up as match worn / player issue, but I put it up for $120. Now that's $10 more than you'd recommend a retail price for a jumper.
I've seen that little post there as well.
You get from Rebel Sport. Anyway, some bloke said, "Does it have a COA?" And I said, "No, it doesn't, but I can tell it's match worn." He said, "Yeah, no, that's fine, but I just prefer something that has a COA." I have no issues with that whatsoever.
No.
If someone has their beliefs and their feeling that they may maybe not quite feel in their heart that it is or whatever, or they just want the piece of paper that goes with it to say it is, that's their prerogative. No worries whatsoever.
Yeah.
If you don't want to buy it, no one's forcing you to buy it.
No.
I'm not going to hold a gun to your head and say you have to buy this because you looked at it. You can easily walk away from it.
Yeah.
I think most people just decide to comment on shit just because they have nothing better to do. But yeah, people like that who just say to me, "Yeah, I just don't want to buy it because there's no COA," not saying that there's anything wrong with it or I don't trust you, just that's how they feel.
Yeah.
No worries at all. But when someone says, "Oh, I can go and put a grass stain on it," like that really gets to me.
Same.
Yeah, I think I've blocked so many people now that I actually can't look at my list because it's too long to read. Just from people saying, "Oh, how do I know you haven't worn it yourself?" Well, I mean, for Christ's sake, I'm a 120 kilo dude that if you've ever seen these jumpers, there's no way anyone like me is getting in them. I'm not going to wear it myself.
I don't wear jumpers personally.
No,
I don't wear them to the footy. And especially the players' cut ones, mate. As you know, we're not cherry ripe, me and you, mate, sitting here. That's for sure, mate. Jeez.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I do know some actually that do wear their players' jumpers.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
That's what they want to do. That's
seen a
fine.
bloke,
no rule against it.
Seen a bloke during the week who actually bought Daniel Rich's jumper from the Indigenous round. From the Bulldog round last round. He paid $845, and he was more than happy to tell everyone he's going to be wearing this to every game from now on. I think he copped a bit of a baking for it. I mean, shit.
But why would he cop a baking?
Exactly.
He shouldn't cop a baking because that's what he wants to do.
He owns the thing. He can do whatever he wants with it.
Exactly.
So I saw that and I just watched people baking him. I was like, in my head, my own thoughts, I was like, I wouldn't wear it personally, but I'm not going to say that on comments because it's got nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
It's not my product. I don't own it. Not my jersey. I can't say anything. It's literally got nothing to do with me. So I'm just going to move on. It's just the people that can't help themselves and they say, "Why would you do that? Or why would you spend for a start? Why would you spend that much money on a jumper?" Mate, I can spend whatever the hell I want on a jumper.
Yeah, we copping that in our own at the moment, Aaron.
Yeah,
but people just chiming in and saying it's not worth this.
Yeah.
Well, what's it worth, mate? You know, like, well, you tell me. Like we've been through this on the way here.
Yeah.
There's no recommended retail price on this sort of stuff, mate.
And you have the exact same thought as I did. For you, what is a jumper worth?
Whatever someone's willing to pay, mate. Simple as that.
100%.
Yeah.
There is, like I say, no recommended retail. It's just someone it could be worth $50. To someone could be worth $500. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever someone looks at and goes, "Oh man, I'm willing to pay this much for it."
Yep.
It could be anything.
Yep.
You could put something up for $300 and someone can say, "Oh, it's worth $500. Me, I'll give you $500." It doesn't happen very often, let's be honest, but it has happened to me. And again, it's just what people are willing to pay for it. So, as far as I'm concerned, and I've said it multiple times, but if you don't have anything to say positive about it, just move on.
Yeah, I know.
Don't say anything.
I know.
No one cares about your opinion anyway.
Well, we talked earlier about this on the way here as well, Aaron, about certain pages demanding that part of their rules, so I'm not demanding, but part of their rules that you've got to put a price on your item. Mm-hmm. Personally, I'm against that, and my reasons are that what is the worth of the item?
Yep.
Why shouldn't you be allowed to get your maximum for that item? As long as it's not offensive, do it in private messaging. You know, I've seen all too often that, and like yourself, it happens all too often that you play by the rules on a particular page, and you put the price up, and all you do is just cop abuse after abuse after abuse, and it's not on. It's not on because you've only followed the page's rules. That's all you've done.
Yep.
It's not good.
Yeah, no, your reasoning makes perfect sense to me. I
Yeah.
really never thought of it that in depth before. But I mean, I always put up prices on my jumpers, but that's purely because that's what I value them at.
Yeah.
And if no one's willing to pay that, that's fine.
But sometimes you're probably not sure.
Yeah.
I know at Port Adelaide where things are highly collectible. Like there are items, and I sort of know what they are.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what is this? What can I get for this? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, like I've said earlier, it doesn't matter whether it's a Guernsey or a bottle collection, like a glass bottle collection, what people collect, or stamps, or it doesn't matter. It just, as long as someone's willing to pay it, that's its worth.
Yeah.
It might be high this time, it might be low next time.
Yeah.
But it's all collectible.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yep.
Couldn't really say it better myself. So I wouldn't say we've squashed that right there and then, because no doubt they'll continue on till the end of time. But if you need any sort of tips or hints on what really etiquette, I guess you should use on pages.
And you nailed that one on the head. It's a lot of etiquette. There's a lot of unetiquette, if there's actually a word out there, mate. I mean, I've had a few beers.
Jeez, I don't even know. But
no, I don't know.
It is now.
Yeah, we'll use that. Unetiquette. Don't be an unetiquette. I don't know about that. Just be a good person. Just be a good human being. And if you've got any queries, I mean, I don't like using the word flog because it gets used in AFL circles a hell of a lot. Well, too much. Just PM, DM the people. And just, if you've got any queries, do it away from everyone else.
Yeah.
People don't need to be abused by just following rules and whatnot. So
yeah, that's right. I mean, we don't need to be abused in general. Like social media pages, that's really like you see so much mental health going on nowadays, and I think you would know quite well with Matty Broadbent this week.
Yeah, you
just don't need it. Like if someone's going to abuse someone on a social media page, you never know what that could lead to.
No.
It's just no need. Like if you don't have anything nice to say, it's just like the old adage. If you don't have anything nice to say, just
don't say anything at all. Simple.
Just move on with the rest of your life. It's not going to change yours at all.
Yeah.
So really, it's that simple.
Yeah.
So we'll move away from that one for now. But I've got one more for you.
Yeah, mate.
And I don't know if you'll be able to answer it, but we'll see what we can get out of you. If there is one Guernsey that you would like from any era, any player, what would that be?
I'd have to say probably. Oh, jeez. See, that's an awkward question at Port Adelaide because we do go back a fair way. Like we're not derived from the Nord Football Club or Sturt. We derive from Port Adelaide, and people can say our history started in 1997 and whatnot. Whatever. We derive from Port Adelaide Football Club.
Yep.
There's no question to me, Aaron, that the greatest day was 2004. That's on the national stage.
Yep.
You've won the biggest prize in football.
It's hard to argue, really.
Yeah. So I'd have to take Warren Treadray's Guernsey from that day.
Do you know where that is?
Yes, well, my old mate Dave Meany there, he's seen it at his place. Sorry, it's not at his place. It's locked up in a vault. No, I hadn't seen it.
Okay.
But he's got it. Obviously, all the players have... majority of the players have all got that, and you would have seen the stories about Gavin Wanganeen.
Yeah.
He's got that back.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But I'm pretty sure Peter Burgoyne had his nicked as well. You don't see the publicity about that. So,
right.
So he's missing his.
Yeah,
but in that, I'm lucky enough to own a premiership match worn, and it's only one of two that I'm actually aware of. So
nice.
That are actually not in players' hands. So
Yeah.
obviously the players have all got their Guernseys that they wore at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And there were two of. And that's another thing, touching on that, Aaron, just about, there was a post yesterday on one of the AFL pages about grand final Guernseys and iron-on patches and sublime patches and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That was an interesting one, I thought.
Yeah.
There's a lot of real random... I thought they were all iron-on, to be honest. So I learned some stuff there.
Yeah. There's a lot of interesting history on the grand final logo in general.
There was.
Yeah.
What I just sort of can't get is how are they subbed on the Guernseys when you don't get the Guernseys that quick? Did they get a set of grand final Guernseys at the start of the year?
Confidence.
That's real confidence, mate. I tell you what, Port Adelaide, we haven't got too much of that, mate. Since against West Coast, the buggers.
I know Adelaide and I think it was Puma at the time. They were real quick to turn them around. So
Yeah.
I don't think they got too many though. I think they may have only got maybe two each player.
Yeah.
Maybe someone could confirm that, but obviously they couldn't produce too many. So
yeah,
Yeah, but there's real interesting history on the grand final logos and how they got them out. It's something we'll definitely have to.
Well, I think
bring
that
up.
the current logo might be on the way out because I've just seen during the year during the week that they're looking at a new AFL logo for next year. So I'd say that would a new grand final one would be introduced. So
yeah, you have to be right there. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad, really, because it's been around since 2004.
I think that's something that they could actually do and keep the standard.
Yeah,
That's just the standard.
I like
That's what you wear.
I love it.
Just
you've got to
keep
keep some
the
sort of
standard.
tradition.
And history, absolutely. I'd like to see that.
It's a tremendous logo. I mean, they've had some shockers, but I love it. I think it's fantastic, and you get it in your hands and you feel the felt on it.
Well, I've actually owned an actual proper one.
Yep.
And it's in 2 pieces.
Yep.
I don't know if you're aware of that. You aware of that?
No.
So it's actually in 2 pieces. Your the
yes,
red under the AFL is
Yeah.
looks like a red graphite cottony type.
It's like an embroidery, right?
Yes, but it's that goes under, and then they iron the other piece on top of that. So I think it's like a security feature. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're aware, but I know when Fremantle in 2013,
Yep.
the AFL wouldn't allow the clubs to do it themselves. They
Okay.
actually flew somebody out to Fremantle.
Oh, they will. It's security.
Do it.
Yeah.
And put on the logo on every single one of the jumpers.
Yep.
Which is awesome to hear.
Yep.
Because like you say, security, and if you really want something authentic and know it's authentic, you'll know because you'll know the feel, and the look.
And all them Guernseys were their years Guernseys with a badge ironed on. That's what they were, and I've just in that conversation what we've been talking about today, people think that they're a brand new Guernsey. Well, they're not.
No.
Like my Dom Cassisi 2004 match worn, that's flogged. That wasn't just worn that day. That was worn all year.
Yeah.
It's hammered.
Yeah.
They just put a badge on it and away you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I know my Chris Main is it's because of the white jumper they wore that year.
Yeah.
But the purple had leaked completely throughout the
Yeah,
year,
right.
and it's pretty much a mauve looking jumper now.
Yeah.
So it's interesting stuff.
It is.
All right, well, so Warren Treadway, grand final jumper.
Yes.
If we can get hold of that.
Absolutely.
But I'm not about your chances.
Absolutely.
Maybe one day when
minus 10, I would say.
Yeah. We'll see what we can do. But anyway, I just want to thank you for joining me today.
No worries, Aaron.
A long trip over from Adelaide and a few beers on top of that. It makes it even harder. But you've done a good job, and I think hopefully you've enjoyed yourself.
No, thanks, Aaron. It's first and foremost, mate. It's been good to meet you and put a face to the name.
Yeah.
That's where all these relationships probably get forged, I guess.
Absolutely.
You see each other's photo and whatnot, but actually talking to the people. And I know at Port Adelaide, I've met lots of friends over my last 3 or 4 years, especially.
Yeah.
Just in this game. So, thanks for having us around, Aaron. Really appreciate it, mate.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Excellent.
Your company has been great, and had a good chat, so I really love it. And I look forward to speaking to a lot of others as well and getting the same interaction with you guys. So, I think for me it's a bit of a thrill as well to meet all you blokes, and ladies as well. We're hoping to get on in future.
Who are the ladies?
Well,
is there any ladies out there that we would need to have on?
There is a few. I know I've been in contact with one of your mob lately.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get her on soon.
Okay.
No, to be honest, I think one from your mob is about all I can really pick. So if there's any out there, definitely let me know, because we'd love to hear from the lady side of things. And anyone that collects jumpers is a friend of ours anyway. So
absolutely, mate.
Yeah,
absolutely.
we'd definitely love to hear from you. So anyway, Lynchy, appreciate it again.
Cheers, Aaron. Thank you.
Enjoy the game tomorrow. Hopefully not too much, but hopefully you get a good day out of it.
Hopefully it pisses down, mate. And we might be half a chance, mate.
Yeah, right. No worries. Well, thanks again, Lynchy.
Cheers, mate.
We'll have you on again in the future.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate.
So there we have it. Thank you very much, Lynchy. We hope you enjoyed your stay in Perth, and we hope you enjoyed coming into the studio and sharing some of your thoughts with us. I'm not too sure how well your thoughts on the prison bar situation will go down with a few of your colleagues, but I thoroughly enjoyed your take on it, and I hope some of the others did too. So thank you again, Lynchy. We hope you enjoyed your stay. We hope you enjoyed the footy over here in Perth. I hope you enjoyed the weather, which wasn't at its particular best that it is quite often here in Western Australia, but it wasn't too bad for the footy. So thank you again, and we hope you come back in future to share some more stories with us, because you're a ripper of a bloke, and we really enjoyed having you. So just to touch on a few of the future episodes we have coming up, we are looking to speak to Craig Evans of the Fremantle Football Club. He's a team store manager over here, and we would love to hear some of the stories he has for us, as he's been in and around the club since 2003. He's a huge component of the end of season sales and of course the auctions which the club puts up every now and again. So that'll be some great insight that we cannot wait to hear. As we touched on during the episode with Lynchy, we were talking about women in the collecting game. I have got one coming up very soon that I can't wait to speak to. But to be perfectly honest, one is all we have. So if you are a female and you do have a match-worn or player issue jumper collection, please don't be afraid to get in touch with us if you would like to share your collection, or even if you're just the partner of a collector and you would like to speak to us about their collection. Again, don't be afraid to send us a message so we can have a chat with you and get you on the show for future episodes. Also, if you are looking to get on the show, whether you're male, female, it doesn't matter. But if you're just looking to share your collection with us, we'd love to hear from you. Just send us a message at the page. Tell us who you support. Just give us some information and a bit of a rundown on your collection. And we'd love to have a chat with you and get you on as well. So thank you again for listening to us. This is our third episode that we've been able to get through with you guys. And we cannot wait to keep putting them out there. And that's really terrible timing. As the Nat 5 poster comes crashing off the wall, so does the end of our episode. We hope you've enjoyed, we hope you listen again, and we hope you can leave us some feedback, maybe some tips on what you think might improve the show. But for now, I just wish you happy collecting, and we'll see you next week for another episode of the Player Issue Podcast.